Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. So this afternoon I'm going to describe two different methods I use to paint something. And one of my subscribers asked the question, why do I paint the background, or what am I painting in the background? So I told them that I would do a video describing how I paint things. So the first painting that I'm going to use is an 8x10 canvas. This canvas board, and I'm going to do 2 lemons and an apple, and then I'm going to paint the same thing on a 8x10 canvas that using another method. So in this first method, I'm going to just kind of do the painting how I do with the blocking in, just the colors in the background and stuff, and then add the color. This other one I'll do probably the line drawing type, where I draw it out, draw everything out, and then just basically fill in the lines. Typically when I'm painting in nature, I'll do like so, let's say if this was a wood line right here, and then there's a water right there, and then like a light part of the sky and then a darker part of the sky, and then maybe the sun is over here or something. What I'll do is I'll color in just a rough shape of the dark, and then the foreground, whatever color that is, and then I'll do the light part of the sky, then the darker part of the sky, and then I'll come in and put the sun in, and then the additional stuff there. But a lot of times when I'm doing still life, I'll actually draw out the items, you know, whatever the background is, and then fill in the shapes. So, but for still life, on this one, I'm going to do kind of how I would do when I'm painting outside. So, and then on the second one, I'll do how I traditionally do a still life. All right. So there may be some quiet in here. My wife is currently taking a nap, so she doesn't know I'm doing this video, so she may come in here and start talking in the middle of it. So that's okay. So on this background, what I normally do is I do some Gamsol. It's like a turpenoid. Kind of thins out the paint really good, and so I'll just kind of paint the back, you know, what the fruit is sitting on. So it's sitting on a green mat, but I can use this just to kind of fill in any gaps. Another benefit of doing this background wash is I let some of this come through as well. So if I miss a little spot, it's not a spot of white. So like you can see as I'm painting this, see how there's like little spots of white coming through? Well, with this underpainting here, it takes care of that to where I don't really have that white coming through. So like I said, I'm not going to draw this one out like I'm going to do the second one. I see that it comes down like that to a point, and this comes down like that. So you see I'm coloring it in, but I'm not. So I'm just getting a rough estimate with it. And it's not as accurate to do it this way either. So we got this down here. know there's going to be no fruit down here in the bottom of the painting. Okay. So I really got it loose on that one. Just wanted to speed this up a little bit. So that's one of the benefits of using this GAM saw is I don't have to scrub it like I was doing the other. The more I use anyway. Alright. Alright, so now time to paint the fruit. I'm moving a little faster than I normally would just because the fact that time constraints of the video, I don't want to have this thing to be in 3 hours long. I had to get some paper towels to clean off this brush. Alright. And a lot of times I use 1 or 2 brushes while I'm painting as well. So for this apple, I'm going to start off with a little bit of this red. And put it right there. Then go a little of this red. Put it right next to it. So you see I'm not worried about it getting it exact, you know. We all know that an apple's round. Even though I did get accused that my apple looked like a pomegranate in my last apple video. So it'll be a little lighter there because it's lighter through here. So I'm gonna grab this other red. Start bringing it in like that. I got like a little area right here where it's really light. I'm just dabbing the paint in there, let it mix a little bit. Then I'll bring back this little darker red. I'm making sure that I get a little darker this time. I'll put like a little dab right around that rim there. A little bit right there too. That was a little too light up there in the top, so I'm going back and darkening it up a little bit. As you can see, I'm not really focused. See how jagged that is? We definitely know apple doesn't have a jagged edge. Okay, so as it goes down into there, it's definitely really light. So I'm gonna go. Just gonna dab that in there. Get a little bit of white. There's that. Almost looks like a belly button in a way. Kind of funny how belly buttons and the way where the apple connects to the tree, very similar. So now I'm gonna pick up a little bit of green in there with it. Just a little green and white, and I'm just gonna dab a little bit in there. More of that green. There we go. Just like that. That's all I wanted. I can take this green right here and just kind of get rid of some of it. Too, that little bit of red mixed in there is not a bad thing. Yeah, it helps add harmony to the painting. Alright. Now, time for a lemon. So there is lemon yellow, but that is really the brightest area. So I'm using a combination of mixing cad yellow, lemon yellow. I'm gonna come in here and dab along this line right here. And I got another little spotlight right there. There's another one right here. So if you get into other colors, you basically got one or two swipes before it gets dirty. So goes right there. It's got the shadow of the apple on it. So you see I got a little dark. I picked up just a little bit of that brown and added to it. And there's also so I got that dark underneath, so I'm gonna come in here with some light. So now it's gonna mix a little bit. Just gonna put those light strokes in there. See how it mixed. Which is not bad, because underneath the bottom of the lemon there, it's really it's really dark from the shadow, but it's more green than it is yellow. Like I was telling you, I got one stroke there, and I can do that to it. It goes off the page like that. that's about done. So while I got this dirty, I can put a little bit right there. See, I picked up brown and it comes around like that, this lemon. So it looks almost orange. So I haven't used white in with this yellow at all yet. I've just got a lemon yellow and cad yellow. The cad is the darker of the two. It's got more pigment to it. The butt of that lemon sticks out like that. So I need to brighten that up just a hair on the end. And brighten it up on the back side to signify that shadow. Now we come in here and add a little yellow, lemon yellow. Letting it blend, because that's what it looks like on the fruit. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. So it gets a little darker right here, so pick up a little yellow. A bit of green, and what's it? So I'm doing yellow and a little bit of green. I'm just going to do this little shadow right there. And as you can see, it looks like a lemon. And I'm gonna do where the little stem was there at one point in time. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up a little bit of green with this yellow. I'm just gonna dab it right there. Just a little bit more. So to be exact on this, you know. And then it's got a little bit of white right there. Just where it was cut. So I gotta work on this lemon over here on the side a little bit. It's a little too dark right through there. Maybe even underneath here too. There we go. Like I did before, I'm just gonna add a little bit of that yellow into the background here. And then I'll just paint up to the apple. Try not to, I don't want my brush my brush strokes to be exactly right up to it. I'm letting it blend together. So when I'm using this method, that's more of what I'm doing, is more of a blending than anything else. So I'm gonna use a little green, a little brown. You get an idea. So I need to bring the apple on over a little bit. So that part of the apple is a darker part, so I'm going to get a hold of this. And we're just going to go. So there you go. Alright, so now trying to make it this green for this one we use white. Now I'm not using any Gamsol with this. I'm not thinning it down at all. I'll add a touch of this lemon yellow to lighten up the green. So there we go. So I'm using big bold brush strokes. Even though this, let's see, what size brush is this? It's a number 6 flat. This is probably one of my favorite brushes to paint with. See, I'm getting different colors in there. Remember when I was mixing those colors in the background? I think that adds character. I'm not cleaning my brush between these brush strokes. I'm just picking up more paint. Top of the lemon a little bit. It's okay. So this style's not for everyone. So I have to be careful not to get too close. I need to leave that little bit of yellow. So that way you still have your stem. I may have to go back and touch it up even. So I keep having to lighten this up because it's picking up that brown burnt sienna in the background. So that kind of gives you an idea how I do that. So that's a very loose technique. It's not exact. Right here, I need to come in just with a little bit right there. I guess I need to put just a touch of yellow underneath there, so I'm gonna do that real quick while it's on my mind. There we go. I need to bring this back just a little bit more. There. So that's a real loose technique. I mean, I could paint the rest of that, but for time's sake, I'm not going to. All right. So that's one. So that's really loose painting technique. Okay, I'm not going to mess with the way they're arranged. I'm just going to get another canvas here. I'm self-taught, so, you know, don't say Kevin said do this, because this is the way to do it, you know. If you're in class, learn the way they tell you to do it. I just made a mess. Okay. So now I'm going to do it with the drawing type method. So I'm just going to come in just very loosely. Just draw the shape of the apple. And I'll do the shape of this. Then the shape of this one. And then it goes down between the two like that. And there's the little stem. There's a little more space than that in real life, but I wanted to do it a little different. So that's the opening where it's connected. And here's my shine right here. So I'm going to keep that. I got a little one right here and a little one right there. I got a big shiny area right here on this. And right here's definitely really shiny. And as you can see, I indicated that's darker by coloring it in. So where are the lemons darker at? Actually, this needs to be a little smaller. So I need to draw it just a little bit smaller. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, it's going to seem totally backwards. I'm going to come in here and do this. I'm not going to do the whole thing just because time constraints. That sap green mixed with a little bit of lemon yellow with some white mixed in. There's no Gamsol on this. I'm just what I'm seeing there is that lemon. It's kind of a weird effect. The apple and lemon is kicking off a little bit of the color mixed with it. So I'm just gonna do enough to where you can see it. So we're just gonna paint around it a little bit more. I don't really have any rules. Well, I take that back. I have tried to follow a fat over lane to where I paint thin paint and then put thick paint on top of it. So we try to do the opposite, it don't work out. So it's just like a coloring book whenever you were a kid. Just coloring the outside of the lines. Alright. Find this method the easiest to do for pick a little bit of red in there for the shade underneath the apple. So you can't really notice it. It's like a little reflection in water. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the lemon. Add a little yellow over here with the green. This part is a little bit darker, so I'm going to add a touch more green, touch more yellow. There we go, like that. Alright, so that's that. So I know light red, almost white, light inside that. It's going to be like yellow. That's going to be kind of yellow with some white in it. So, I'm going to brush for this. And all I'm doing, I'm not actually cleaning it with spirits. I'm just wiping it on a paper towel. So like I said, this is going to be almost pure yellow. This lemon yellow right there. We don't want to stay in the lines. We want to kind of blend it a little bit. That way it looks more natural. And this is going to be the same way. This part right here also is really yellow, bright yellow. Okay. Now, come here like this. Okay. So I'm not left-handed, but I'm teaching myself to paint left-handed. That way, if my right arm gets tired, I can still paint. A little shadow back here. I'm doing is I'm picking up different yellows. So mix some cad yellow, lemon yellow, various degrees. Oh, here comes the rain. That's the wind to start with. So I'll pick up just some pure lemon yellow, and we'll go through here and touch this just a little bit. I feel like it's getting a little on the orange side. Oh, I touch that green, gotta wipe it off. So now, there's a touch of shadow right there. So I'm gonna pick up just a touch of this green. Just a little shadow right there. Right here. There's like a little bruise back here too. And we got this, just like in the other painting. It's a little green spot. A touch of white. Right there. Okay. So there's a very subtle line there. There we go. Oops. Get that cleaned up a little bit. Alright, so there's my 2 lemons. Now it's time for apple. So the dart right there. There's dart right here. A little bit dark on the back side where it touches that. I can tell it's about dinner time. My hands are starting to get a little shaky. Normally I stop painting if my hands do this. Alright. So now I'm pick up a little cad red and mix in there. Such a strong red. Touch just a touch of white in that to start getting some different color reds in there. So I started picking up that dark red again. This apple doesn't have uniform color. It's got little speckles even on it, but I'm not gonna go to that level with this. I guess I could, but so this, it's like a little white stripe that goes. Oh, don't worry, I'll come back and fix that a little bit. Another one that goes like that right there. It has a real. Right there. And a touch of green. Right here. Like that. Now I gotta wipe my brush. Kind of like that. I could probably just deal with what's there. There you go. Alright, now I need to do that. Oh, touch of light. It's not really white, but it's closer to white than it is red. There's another little speck right here. There. Just like that. Also, I think that this right here, it's just a touch of white in it, right there. Right here. There we go. Alright, so there's my two methods. I hope that helped you out. And I'm just discovering these things as I go. So, any comments are welcome. And if you get any feedback, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. I'll let this continue to play. I'm going to quit talking, but I'm going to finish blocking this in. So you can watch that if you want to. Let's finish painting.